everybody, and welcome to the Pando Cap Show. I am so honored and delighted to have Ana Valdez here on the Pando Cap Show. She is an executive president of the Latino Donor Collaborative and a powerhouse in business and furthering empowerment within the Latino community. Welcome to the Pando Cap Show. I am so honored for you to be here today. Can you share a little bit about your journey with our audience?
Of course. Thank you, Laura, for having me and for everything that you do to empower Latinas and people in your industry. So it's fun to be here. And yes, so my name again is Ana Valdez, and I am the executive president of the Latino Donor Collaborative. And what we do is that we are very active in creating the narrative of who Latinos are in America based on facts. So we create data with the top leaders in data in the United States to show with numbers the huge contributions that Latinos do every day. We create the Latino GDP report that you may have heard about. We create the Latino Wealth Creation report, the Latino Media report, and many more, just to show how important and vital, and I would dare to say indispensable, is the Latino community for this country, not only in the recent years, but since its creation. And actually, as you know, we were here much before even some of our states became part of the United States.
Ana, the pandemic has caused many benefits and challenges for people. How has this time been for you?
You know, it's a great question, because I think it's everybody's experience that it's been surreal in a lot of different ways. We've all had to adapt to changes. And there's also been some silver linings, right? So I personally feel a little guilty when I have the silver linings of, you know, my kids being more at home, which I love. My kids are a little older, so I love that they come back. At the same time, you know, I know they'd much rather be at, you know, in college or in high school and just having fun with their friends. That's my personal side. But in the professional side, it's been a lesson on adapting to the times, right? I always say I feel like that novel from Garcia Marquez, Love in Times of Cholera. But this is, you know, life in the time of coronavirus. We are working from home, my husband and I. At the beginning, it was a little strange. Now it's really, we've tried to make it joyful. We couldn't, you know, have all the plans that we were, you know, thinking for the last 18 months, but we have been very productive. We're trying to work for the empowerment of everybody around us. We are coming up with a coronavirus report that shows who really stepped up and who is saving the day. And Latinos are extremely important for the everyday of our country. The reason why we can stay indoors is because there are Latinos and other essential workers bringing food to our table, bringing food to the grocery store. There are people fixing the roads. I live in Los Angeles, and every time I show up somewhere, every time I take my car riding somewhere, I see our community stepping up to keep everything going. The gardeners, people that are accountants, people that are, from cleaning the hospitals all the way to the doctors. So our report is really important, and we've been able to do it from home.
Can you share more about the LDC and the economic data that we should be proud of?
The Latino Donor Collaborative's mission is to create data that shows who Latinos are in the United States and all their contribution to this country. And it is really a joy to do this, because every single study, not only by us, but also by any academic, by all think tanks, show that Latinos are a gift to this country. Not only now, but since its inception. We contributed to this country from cowboys and, the most important universities in the West Coast and in Texas. And so it is really joyful. Let me give you some example. What we do is to create and extract the numbers from the overall American numbers and show what Latinos are contributing. The first case that I'm going to quote is the Latino GDP report that we make every year. The first year we realized that Latinos were contributing so much to the GDP of America that if we were an economy by ourselves, we would be the 7th largest economy in the world. Not only that, but we would be the 3rd fastest growing. So not only we already are important as the economy shows, but we actually continue growing. So we drive the growth of every American. That, I'm going to quote another one of our studies. So Morgan Stanley, and we partner with different banks, corporations, etc. Morgan Stanley 5 years ago created a report with the 13 most important industries in consumer goods. And out of the 13, 10 of them would have gone down in sales and in growth if it was not for Latinos. They went to the point where they actually recommended their clients to invest in stock that of companies and organizations that were investing in their Latino customer. So that's what we do. Those are only 2 of the many reports that we promote, that we love, that we engage with. And we literally have the capacity to contradict any stereotype that there is about Latinos. And with that, I'm not saying that we're perfect. We're just not what people are saying. We're a community that has everything, all the spectrum of a society, but all the spectrum within a group that is extremely productive.
So much for being on the Pando Cap show, and I'm very excited. Hopefully we'll stay in touch and we'll bring you back on the show again.